Pretty unique journey you're having as a young up-and-coming boxer. You know, you got a big UFC promotion behind you. I'm curious, every time you fight, does it feel like a bigger and bigger stage for you to perform on?
Yeah, definitely. Every fight is getting bigger and bigger, and it has to. I'm knocking people out, and like my opponents haven't been giving me fights. Like I haven't had a fight yet. I'm 8-0 and I haven't been touched. So they have to give me bigger and better fights to try to see how good I am. And this is just going to be another test, and we'll move on to the next.
Do you think that's something people are overlooking, right? They see the UFC vehicle behind you, they see Dana behind you, but they're kind of overlooking your skills and the fact that, hey, you're going in there and you're getting rid of these guys very easily, and actually you have the skills to back up the promotional push behind you.
Yeah, definitely. Dana doesn't get behind anybody. Especially not a boxer. He only gets behind real fighters, and that's what I'm trying to prove, that I'm a real fighter, and that's why I never turn down an opponent. I never turn down a fight. I'm fighting whoever they put in front of me, and I'm trying to prove myself.
What do we make of Ismael? What are you expecting from him in the ring tomorrow?
I know he's not going to want to lose here in his hometown. He's young, he's hungry, he knows what it feels like to lose. He had one loss. That was controversial, I heard, but I don't know. But he's not going to want to lose in front of his home crowd, so I'm expecting him to come out strong, and we'll see what happens. But I'm going to try and finish him here now tomorrow night. Like I'm coming into New York, into his backyard, and I'm going to try and put him away and show New York that I'm here to stay.
He was here earlier and he says he can sort of do it all depending on what you bring him, and he thinks, it could turn into a brawl if you come aggressively, but I'm curious if you feel the same way. Can he stand there with you if you come onto him, and will it turn into a brawl, or will you just be too good?
He's too slow for me. By the time he throws 2 punches, I'll have 7 or 8, and it won't be a brawl. No. I'll finish him. It'll be very easy. I know I've prepared well for this fight. This will be my best camp, and I'm feeling very strong, very fit, and very fast, and he's too slow for me.
Coming up to the end of 2023, and it's been a big year for you. Your career's started to really rise up. Where do you think you will be in 12 months' time? With Dana behind you, the UFC behind you, with all this sort of vehicle pushing you, where do you think your career will be in 12 months' time?
I never try to think that far ahead. I take it one fight at a time, and I just try to keep winning and keep getting my opponents out of there. But hopefully in 12 months' time, we'll have a few more belts up here and a bit more money in my pocket, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Callum, I'm curious, just from your perspective, do you think more MMA or boxing fans know who you are, considering the UFC has kind of been the vehicle driving the ship lately?
I think a lot of both know me. I know MMA fans mightn't respect me as much as the boxing fans yet. That's what I'm still trying to prove. I'm still trying to gain that respect from the MMA fans. But yeah, I think a lot of fans know me just because, well, maybe more MMA fans because I'm being pushed a lot by Dana and the UFC. So I don't know, probably both. But I'd say boxing fans probably respect me more.
And has there been other maybe boxers that aren't involved in like the UFC Fight Pass and everything, Dana White, that have reached out to you just kind of curious how this has all been going on behind the scenes, considering the UFC and Dana are relatively new in promoting boxing?
Yeah, everybody's wondering what's going on. Nobody has a clue really what's going on. But I don't even know what's going on, to be honest. I'm just like I said, I'm just fighting whoever they tell me to fight and just doing whatever they tell me and seeing what happens.
And Ismael is in here, and he thinks it'll be pretty 50-50 in terms of the crowd, even though it is. He recognizes that he might be fighting in his backyard, but the Irish, they like the Madison Square Garden fights in New York. So I'm curious, what are you expecting on Saturday when you make the walk, or this weekend?
Yeah, it could be 50-50. I have no idea, to be honest. There's going to be a lot of Irish there, and the Irish are going to be loud. That's what I know. The Irish are always loud. They always show up. They'll probably have a few drinks in them. They'll be singing and cheering, but. Yeah, he'll have a big crowd. He's a young prospect from here. He's going to bring a big crowd, and we'll put on a good fight for him.
Callum over here. I know you've probably got kind of used to the being the UFC's guy and having Dana behind you, but at first, was that a lot of pressure? Like initially, was it something that you had to kind of get used to?
No, I never felt pressure. No, I don't feel pressure in any of my fights. I just do what I always do. I've been fighting my whole life. I don't feel any extra pressure that Dana's going to be there. I don't feel any extra pressure that they're pushing me a lot. I have one job to do tomorrow night, and that's win the fight. And obviously after, I'll enjoy the fact that Dana was there. I'll appreciate the UFC promoting the fight. I'll appreciate everything that everyone does for me. But before the fights, no, I don't feel any pressure. I just know that I'm going to go in there and do what I always do, and there could be anybody sitting there. It doesn't matter.
And I know this is a very unique situation. I guess, Dana's relationship with you, is he kind of like an advisory role? Is he kind of a promoting role? Like, kind of what is his exact influence on you? Or all of the above?
I have no idea. Like I said, I just fight. I just do the fight and I don't do the business. Dana's obviously I have the Howler Head whiskey sponsor, so that's a big help for me. And yeah, obviously Dana's the best promoter in the world, so he knows what he's doing. And between him and Tom, they know what they're at. I just fight.
Thanks.
Callum over here. Yesterday we talked about your potential move to MMA as well as boxing. How can you realistically do that? Do you think within a 12-month span or after your boxing career, do you want to do both at the same time in a few months span?
I'm 22 years old. I've been training some MMA with Tony Ferguson for the last couple of years. I've trained with a lot of UFC fighters. Even for Kevin Holland's last fight, I've done some stuff with him. And like I said, I'm 22 years old. I've a lot of time if I want to do it. And I respect the sport of MMA, and I respect all the UFC enough to know that I'm not going to be able to just walk in there. There's no way. It's not possible. You can't just be a good boxer and expect to just get in the cage and do well. It's not going to happen. So my main priority right now is boxing, keep boxing, and when I'm not in serious camp, cross train, do some jiu-jitsu, whatever, and just keep doing it for a couple of years and see how I get on, see if I like it. And if I think I'll do well, we'll see how big of a name I am in a couple of years and see how easy it will be to deal with Dana and see if I can do it. And that's the thing, I want to do it right. I don't want to be a fella to just go in there and just get smashed in 20 seconds. I want to do, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right.